I'm Gord Binsted. I'm the Dean for the Faculty of Health and Social Development. But the reason why I'm here is my home unit, of course, is the School of Health and Exercise Science, and I've been here since its inception in 2007. Well, I came to UBC before the school existed, and so I was actually drawn to UBC by the idea of what a new program in exercise science and kinesiology might look like. And so I came with the grand idea of creating a new one, and so we have. So my research background is pretty varied. I'd say generally I'd be referred to as a sensory motor neuroscientist. So that really means looking at the interplay between sensation, so vision and touch and sound, and the control of movement, and how the brain coordinates all that information. Of the last little while, that has really meant looking at how the brain does that integration in extreme environments. And so we've looked at it in environments such as emergency rooms, open pit mines, right through to simulations of what fatigue and integration looks like in simulated space flight to Mars. Working in my lab is a little bit different than many. As the dean, obviously, I have a few more constraints on my time. And so over the last little while, I've constrained my research to primarily field-based work. And so that field-based work ranges anywhere from in the mountains of South America, Everest, all the way through to simulated Mars travel. And so students working in my lab do a combination of prep work, which would be programming, preparation, that type of work, right through to data analysis on the backside. And then the trips themselves range anywhere from 2 weeks up to 6 weeks. Well, I began in engineering, and then I came over to exercise science, and then I wanted to be a sports psychologist, and then I began to understand the biology of the whole thing. So I guess to some extent I wish I'd figured out what I wanted to do earlier. I wish I'd figured out how exciting science could be earlier. But it's really a matter of timing. I just wish I would have figured that out earlier. I could have gotten more out of my undergraduate education had I figured those things out in first year as opposed to in third year. I mean, something students might not know, certainly many of my colleagues know, is that I'm an avid cyclist. And in fact, in my sabbatical year, a few years ago, I had the grand idea of doing a solo bike ride across the US. And so I spent 45 days pedaling, about 150 kilometers a day with a bike that weighed upwards of 85 pounds with all of the gear on it, camping by myself. And it was a fantastic trip. Similarly, I do other silly things like, as I said, go to Everest, or a few weekends ago, my dog and I climbed a mountain, and my dog with full rappelling gear and climbing gear so I can get him to the top. So, here you go.